Well, hello, motherfuckers. Tired as fuck, but I don't really care, because we got some shit left to do, and we're gonna finish it. We're gonna get started by getting the alternator belt on, tightening that up, and then we're gonna start putting some fluids in. Start with the trans fluid, engine oil, and then coolant. And then from there, we can actually start it and see if it starts. But I'm not sure yet if I want to do that. I kind of think I want to install the traction bar and the shift linkage. First of all, just to make sure it's in neutral. I could do that without the shift linkage, but I do want to get the shift linkage installed, get that out of the way, and get the traction bar in, just so that when I do start it, it doesn't have to be much longer after the first initial start and warm up, that I can take it out and drive it and see how, see how well it drives, see the tune, touch it up a little bit, get it drivable, because if all goes well, I do want to take it home tonight, but I'm not pressing it, I'm taking it as it comes. If it takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit longer. It's whatever, it's still getting done, and I'm happy. So we're gonna go ahead, get some fluids in it, get the alternator tight. Oh, we also have to fix the exhaust. I have to do that before I start it, because I don't want to start it open header in here. So that will probably be before we start it. But let's cut the chit chat. Let's get this shit finished. Well, it looks like I'll be needing some coolant line so I can have my overflow connected. Definitely need that. If I can't find any, I'll just tuck my overflow somewhere over here next to the battery, but I'm gonna look for some. Solve that issue. Some leftover nylon tubing from our breather. That works for now. Coolant, I went with the Asian vehicle, pink, red pink. It says Lexus, Scion, Toyota, but the Honda stuff uses the P-HOTE. It's the phosphate enhanced oat formula. It helps protect against corrosion. So I grabbed some of that, and I also grabbed some Redline water wetter. It's supposed to help the cooling system just do its job, basically. And the single cam, I ran, I think it was Royal Purple stuff, and I saw no issues with the cooling system. And maybe this doesn't work, but I figure why not, you know, just have like that insurance, I guess. And yeah, we'll try it out. So let's get this in there. I think we're full. I'm not starting it right now. I do want to get the traction bar on and the shift linkage. So this, I'm gonna let it do its thing. And when it's time to start it, we'll bleed the air out of the system. And she'll be all Gucci. So for shift linkage, I went with an eBay brand, but there's a reason. So this is made by MMR Performance on eBay, and the finish is really nice. I mean, it looks like orange peely, but it's kind of like wrinkle. But the main reason I went with this shift linkage, other than price, because it was a very good price, is the links here. So if you look at the links, they're bolts. Most of them that you see are like pins, and you can't adjust them. If they get loose, they get loose. I believe there's aluminum bushings in here, and basically if it ever gets loose on you, you just tighten it a little more. And they're nylon lock nuts, so they don't back out. And basically that's the whole reason. I was looking at I forget who it is, but they sell this one. It's this piece as like a lock pin. I can't remember who it's from or who makes it, but it's a resolve for this issue, for these getting loose and the shifter feeling sloppy and shitty and like stuff like that. But these bolts basically alleviate that as well. And the whole linkage, I think it was $118 or something like that. Not bad for the price, and the finish is great, the quality's great. I mean, I haven't really felt it in the car, but just the looks of it, and these bolts, to me, in my mind, I say this is a win. So we're gonna get this put in the car, and then yeah. So with the swap, I did get a DA linkage. I was, before purchasing the MMR B series shift linkage, I was going to use this one and cut it and shorten it to length and get it to work, but I just decided to go with this one. But I am going to be using the shifter from this linkage, because the one currently in the car is a cut LS shifter with the fucking golf ball on top. It was in my second CRX, the one that got stolen. I took it out for a better shifter. 2 times in a row, snapped a shifter, and then it got stolen. But yeah, so the one that's in the car now is junk. This will feel a lot better. I have a decent knob. I just actually bought a K-tuned shifter from somebody on Instagram. Shout out to you if you watch this. And that should be coming hopefully by next week. I should have an install video for that, hopefully. But yeah, it's a lot better, the K-tuned anyways. But this will work for now, and I'm done talking. Let's get this bitch in. So because the hardware from this, the stupid bolts that go into this piece, that go into that, I had to drill one, I had to cut one out. I'm going to pull the shift linkage out of this car and use that hardware from that, because yeah, that's what I have. I also have brand new bitch pin cover, washer and the shift linkage washer for the front side, and also the bolt for it as well. So that thing should feel amazing. Now the shift linkage did come with these bushings. I don't know how soft they are. They feel pretty firm to me, but I'm gonna see which one's harder and then insert that one, because I'd rather have the stiffer feel than a softer, tamer feel. So I'm gonna pull the one out this car, and then we'll get this right back together. Can you guess what I'm gonna use to lube it? If you said grease, you're wrong. Fucking assembly lube. Why the fuck not, right? The shit stays in place. It doesn't really go anywhere. So fuck it. We'll use it for everything. Squeaky door, assembly lube. Everything. Now let's get it in. OEM parts, dude. I love it. Brand new bolt and everything is all Honda stuff. I wouldn't do it any other way. I mean, I did buy some stuff that's not Honda, but the fact that these came with the swap makes me really appreciate the OEM stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. Alright, so check it. Right? Shift linkage. Makes this bend, and it makes this bend, and it makes this bend, and then it's like that, right? So, on the transmission, where it's supposed to stay, right? Like through here, the bolt, it's like, so say the bolt's straight, the shift linkage is like this. It's kind of like they forgot a bend here. Now it looks like they tried to do a bend, but didn't do it fully. So the bolt being straight, the shift linkage is like this. So I'm just gonna put this in a vise and bend it over. Alright, boom. Hopefully that works. Alright, so I got the shift linkage installed, and I'm seeming to run into a little bit of an issue. Okay, so I'm in fourth right now, neutral, third, right, fifth, reverse, second. Okay, first gear, over and up, right? Should go right up, right? I think it feels like it goes in, but when I go to first, what's the shifter? Over, it curves. Like what? I think it's still going into first, but third, definitely feel it's going to third, fourth, fifth, second, but first, you see that curve? I don't know if that's a big deal. I'm gonna see if it even goes into first when I drive it, but I definitely want that sorted out. If I gotta buy a shift selector or something, then I will. I'll drop the trans again, pull that out, all that. It's not really a lot of work, but it's definitely something I don't want to do. But, you know, I don't want this to be a complication in the future. Like, this should go straight up. It makes like a curve. It definitely feels like it's going into gear, but I don't know what that is. So we'll have to monitor that and see what that's like whenever we go to drive it. But we're hopefully going to be starting it soon, so let's see what we got here. Alright, so just going to get the battery in and hooked up, and then we can disconnect the distributor, kill the injectors in the tune, and turn it over until we have oil pressure. And then the exhaust isn't hooked up, so it's going to be loud. But if it does kick on, I might have to play with the tune some. But if it does kick over, I gotta let it warm up, and then I gotta let it run for 20 minutes after that. So it might get fumey in here, especially with the injectors are calibrated in the tune, but they're not tuned for, so it may be really rich. So I'm gonna turn on the heat. I'm gonna open the door when we start it, and then so we can evacuate the fumes. But let's see how this goes. Alright, so we got the plugs out for priming the engine with oil. I'm going to hook up my laptop, upload a base code to the computer, kill the injector so it's not spraying any fuel. We're going to prime it until I see the oil light go out. Then I'm going to plug back in the distributor, put the spark plugs back in, not kill the injectors, and then see if she fires. Alright, check for fuel leaks quick.
No. I mean, it's not leaking. There's no leaks. It's just like snow.
Turn the pump on all the time so we can check for fuel leaks. There. Turn line's good. Yeah, that didn't change. This is good.
Yeah.
Good, no fuel leaks. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and prime it.
So fast!
You heard how we got faster though? It's when it got oil pressure. Alright, we got oil pressure. Alright, so we got oil pressure. We put the intake on. I'm gonna have to modify that because it doesn't fucking work right now. Probably gonna have to relocate my batteries. We got oil pressure. We got coolant in it. We've got trans fluid in it. Let's see if she fires up. Alright guys, you ready? Alright, moment of truth.
Doesn't this need to be plugged in?
Did I not have it plugged in?
No.
Alright, my fault. I didn't plug in the fucking distributor.
Which one of these plugs is it?
Both of them.
Oh.
And I had the injectors killed too. I'm an idiot! Alright,
Take two.
for real this time. Fucking starter!
Let me tap it.
Yeah. Alright. What the fuck? Alright, for real, let's go this time. Tap it while I crack it. Tap that jump.
Ready?
Yeah. Alright, looks like it's a no-go.
What the fuck?
Alright, take fucking two,
Oh.
2, 3, 4 and a half.
Let me tap the starter.
Nope. Okay. See what it does first. Take like 97.
Hope this works.
it's gonna need a starter for sure. Ready?
You flooring it.
Alright, so I think we're having a low voltage issue because it's dropping down to like 9.8 volts. Not getting enough energy for the spark plugs to spark. Brother's starting his car. We have jumper cables hooked up. His car's right outside the door. And we're going to see if this helps at all and see if she fires over. I probably won't do the initial warm-up break-in tonight. If it kicks over, I'll turn it right off because it's getting late. And I'll try and get that done tomorrow. But let's see what we can do. Alright. Yeah, that's better. Alright, let's go. Yeah. I just gotta clear it out. I think it's we're getting close!
Do you have the fuel injectors cut off?
Yeah. Yep, I do. That's how much fuel's left.
Turn the fuel injector back on. Did it die on its own?
Getting close! Oh! We're getting close. Alright, so it might be getting a little bit too much fuel. Gonna kind of want to let it air dry a little bit, but I'm gonna take the spark plugs out, kill the injectors, take the unplug the distributor, let it air out, spin it over a few times, and then I'm gonna put a cap full of oil in each cylinder to try and help make a seal for the rings because it's a freshly brand new engine, and see where we get to then. I might have to take some fuel out of the cranking fuel to see if it'll help fire up though. Alright, so we got, I aired it out a little, put a cap full of oil into each cylinder to kind of help it seal, spark plug back in, distributor back in, and we're going to see if it fires. I've got it. Ready? What's up, guys? As you saw in the last clip, or one of the last clips, we did get the car started. It is still open header. I was getting some weird AFR readings because of where the wideband is located and it being open header. But I did get it to idle kind of good after getting it to start. The software like selects the overall fuel trim from old injectors to new injectors and shit like that. Put in the offset dead times, and it took out too much fuel, so it didn't want to start. It would kick over a fire and it would die. So I had to keep adding fuel back in, actually, and the overall fuel trim, I just zeroed it out instead of having it at -24, which is the maximum. And it fired right up and idled pretty well. So before we even get back to running this thing any longer, we still got a few things to do. We have to install the traction bar, we have to correct the exhaust, and we also have to modify this thing. I bought this off eBay. It was $38 or so, I think, and it doesn't fit. It's massive. When it's in place, this end of it touches the firewall, like my throttle body is back there. So I have to cut it and shorten it. I don't have a welder though. I mean a TIG welder. I don't have a TIG welder, so I can't fucking weld it. So I'm gonna have to like cut and tape it. I know it's definitely not what I want to do, but yeah. So it kind of sucks because I definitely want this to look a little better than that. But I mean, you know, whatever. If it works, it fucking works. I'm not complaining. But I'm definitely gonna have to look into getting a custom intake or a better system set up, so that also I'm probably gonna relocate my battery sometime soon, because it in the spot it is doesn't leave this much space, because this is a 3-inch instead of a 2 1/4 I think was the one for the single cam, and it's bigger and it's close to my positive, and I don't want it shorting or arcing, because that would suck. So yeah, we got a few things to do, and then we can put her on the ground, get her a proper warm-up, the break-in warm-up, change the oil again, or change the oil for the first time, and then we can go out and test the tune and see where it's at, touch it up a little bit, and see how she drives for the first time. That transmission issue has kind of got me a little sketched out too. Hopefully it still goes into first gear. I'm not sure what that is, but I priced out a Speed Factory gear shift selector, and it's $660. So I don't know. I might just go pull one out of another trans, like at the junkyard or something, because that shit is nuts. But if that's the fix, nah, I'll pull the trans and I'll do it over again. But if it goes into first and it doesn't give me any issues, I'll probably just keep it like that for a little bit until I actually feel like pulling the trans again. Because that it really kills my mood, you know. But we're gonna push on and see what everything is, iron it all out, and get her back on the road. So the traction bar that I went with for this build is the new updated Innovative Mounts unit. This is the old style. Okay, nothing wrong with this one. I do have to change out the hind joints because they're not the greatest, but the only real things that I really wasn't a huge fan about these ones are when you want to adjust it, right? You're trying to adjust the caster. You have to literally unbolt it and then twist the joint and then bolt it back together. When the car's on the ground, so this means you have to lift the car in the air. You have to adjust it, tighten it, put it back down, then put it back on the alignment rack. That sounds like a pain in the ass. It sounds like a lot of work, and I've been looking for a better solution, and that's when I saw the Innovative Mounts brand new traction bar, right? So in this box, they have one of these bars, but instead of being solid at the rear like this, it has another joint that the whole metal can screw in and out, right? Basically, that gives it adjustability while it's on the car, and that alleviates all the problems that I see with this bar. Although this bar functions very good, there's nothing wrong with it, but the adjustability of it is the only part that I was a huge fan of. But I mean, it did its job. It worked fantastic. The car never wheel hopped. But we moved on. We're moving to this piece. Let's open it. Now, I was so impatient to get this whenever I did receive it. I actually went to FedEx and got it myself. I picked it up because I just didn't want to wait. Even though I still haven't opened it yet. Let's open it and see what all is included. What the hell? Alright, the first pieces we got here are the billet adjustable pieces. So these will bolt to the control arm. I was wrong. These are solid. But the adjustable part is all right in here. And that's fantastic. I love it. So these are billet. They say innovative on them. They look really, really good, and I cannot wait to install these. You can see the machining marks on it still. That's awesome. Hardware. And the traction bar itself. I guess these come with tow hooks, which is nice. The top is flat, so that shouldn't interfere with our radiator at all. And on the bottom, they have a point on which they put lift on it. Basically the lift point. You can jack it up from here. What I noticed from jacking it up from the other one, I did a few times, was I thought I saw it bend. And that I wasn't really happy about. But this seems like a very sturdy piece. Way more sturdy than the last. And this is going to work very, very well. So let's get it put on. Alright, let's get this first one put on. I've got the coilover out, upper control arm down, the axle out. So we're just gonna put this baby in there. So I believe these lock nuts, one is a 19, and I think the two other big ones might be like 28s or 32s or something. I don't have that big of a wrench, so I'm using a pair of channel locks and vice grips to tighten those down. But for the 19, I have a 19 wrench. So let's lock these babies in place, and yeah. And she's installed. Woo! Man, that thing looks good. Alright, so the traction bar is on. It looks fantastic. I'm pretty stoked. The only two things left to do, really, is we have to fix the exhaust. The header is like this, and the exhaust, so the header's like this. What the fuck? The header's like this, the exhaust is like that. So we have to cut and move it over so that it can mate, right? And we have to fix this goddamn intake because it's just too, just doesn't fucking work. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but we definitely need to get something done. I want to tune this bitch so bad, bro, so bad. But I'm gonna drop the mid pipe and see how much I have to rotate the flange, and then hang it, tack it, weld, and then take it back off and weld it up. So probably won't see most of that, so you just probably see me welding, honestly. Well, let's get it. Now remember, kids, safety first. You always want to make sure you take every precaution to stay safe. Okay? Okay. Ah! Alright guys, I don't know how well the camera's gonna capture the welding, and I should really clean this shit up, but it's MIG and I don't really care. It's gonna get welded, this exhaust is gonna get changed anyway. I'm gonna go with a full 3-inch in preparation for turbo, so full 3-inch with 2 vibrant resonators, no muffler. But for now, this is gonna have to do. So let's see what we can do. Man, this fucking helmet sucks. Fucking eyeballs are killing me now. Let's try this one. God damn, these welds look like shit. I think it's because it's very dirty material. I mean, I weld at work all the time, so, and they come out way better than this, but I also prep better, so. Fuck it. God damn, it's just so ugly, but I'm gonna check it over real quick, make sure it doesn't look like it's gonna leak, and then we'll be alright. It's ugly, I gotta grind it. You know what? I don't even fucking care, to be honest. It's done. Now for this part. Alright. You can see it looks weird, but it has to, so finish up this welding. Fuck it, it's done. Alright, so once we get this header in, this exhaust on, only thing I have to do is kind of like fuck with the intake, and then I'm gonna warm this bitch up fully, and then change the oil, and then we'll probably be back tomorrow and pull her out. Or I might drive her home tonight. I don't know. I'm feeling froggy, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like I kind of want to, you know, it'd be fun. I kind of don't want to chance it. It's a toss-up. We'll see. but I'm gonna get this exhaust put on and then we'll catch right back up. Alright, so the exhaust is welded, it's hooked up. This intake situation has got me baffled. I don't really know what to do other than get a different intake or relocate my fucking battery, something like that. But yeah, so not even sure what to do right now. Alright, hopefully this is the last day for this video, but the only thing left to do now is we gotta put the hood on, but I have to get my intake situation figured out. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut it here and put this side in the throttle body and see how much I need to take out of this section, because I can get this to work. So, and then once that's done, I grabbed some couplers that I'm gonna use hopefully. And yeah, then it'll work. It's not gonna be the best at all, but it'll work and it'll get me down the road. Eventually, I will be relocating my battery to the back of the battery box and then getting a better intake for this setup, a straighter one, better flow. But this will do for now. So I'm gonna chop here, see how much I need to take out of this section, and then couple it together with a coupler. I know it's gonna look heinous and ugly, but I mean, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Well, let's get to cutting. Well, I mean, it'll work, I guess. I think. I hope. Let's check. Hey, cat glove. So it works. It works. My only issue now is the top of the filter is hitting the top of the headlight housing, and the bottom is hitting the fender well. I don't think it'll cause anything, but it might rattle. So I kind of want to put either some tape or something here and here just to keep it quiet, I guess. So we're gonna see what we can do about that real quick. All right. I got some tape to kind of protect it so it doesn't rattle. You know, it's not amazing, but whatever. You know, it works. And that's all I needed to do, you know what I'm saying? So, now that we have this on, everything's basically done. I'm going to put the wheels on, lower it a little bit closer to the ground, open the door, let it fully warm up, mess with the tune a little bit so that it doesn't run crazy rich. Once it's fully warmed up and broke the warm-up break-in, I'm going to change the oil, put in new oil, and then we'll take it out for a drive. Alright, so I'm gonna get the laptop hooked up. I'm gonna start up and let it warm up, break in, warm up, let it get up to operating temp. Once it's up to operating temp, let it idle for 20 more minutes. And then we'll change the oil and we'll be able to take it out. So let's get it fired. So we still have yet to set base ignition timing. Once the car is warmed up, we're going to change the oil, put it back on the ground. We're going to be able to set base ignition timing, and then if the throttle body screw needs to be adjusted, we can do that as well to get it idling 100% perfect. Alright, so the car's warmed up. It's been running for quite a while now. Having a little bit of an idle surge, but I don't have a vacuum leak. I'm registering like 20.8 inches of vacuum. So I'm probably going to adjust the throttle plate screw because I have to have like 75% duty cycle on the idle air control valve. So either the throttle plate is too closed or the idle air control valve is like not wanting to work, because if I turn it to 0, the car shuts off. If I turn it to like 70-85%, it idles better, but it surges a little. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to adjust the screw, help it idle, and then set the idle air control valve at 0. It should give it a little bit better idle. Learned that from Hunter Tune. So I'm gonna change the oil real quick, set her on the ground, and then we can get to tuning this thing. Also, I have a number 7 TPS code because I have the TPS adjusted to its max, and I'm only getting 0.08 of a volt. Should be at 0.45. So hopefully adjusting that throttle body screw will also help alleviate the code. Everything is like basically tied in together. That's what makes me think I have to adjust that. So I'm going to change the oil, get her started, back off the idle air control valve duty cycle, but slowly adjust the screw so it idles better, and keep going back and forth until I find that 0% idle air control valve duty, 16 degrees of timing, and then we can get and then voltage on the TPS. So once that's finished, we can get out and get a cruising tune on this, because I can't wide open throttle yet. It's got to be broke in, but we'll get that cruise tune going, get it cruising well. I'm only aiming for a stoic with the single cam with the smaller injectors, the stock 240cc's. I could cruise at 16.0, I could cruise at 15.5 and 15.0 whenever I wanted. You know, it was good. But with these, the 1000 cc's from Snake Eater Performance, the port for the injector where it sprays the fuel doesn't. It's kind of just like a one port, like just a hole, I guess. I don't think it's very good for the atomization, but it's good for power. I'm not complaining. I bought them. I wanted them. They're gonna work. But fuel atomization is not the 100% greatest, but they still work pretty good. I mean, you saw how quick it started up. But I had to take some fuel out of the map. Started up beautifully. Idled. It's running really well. So we'll see how that goes once we get it back on the ground. But I think I'm gonna just aim for a 14.7 stoic AFR while cruising. That way I can get a good solid base on it, and then we'll go from there. And I'm stoked. Once this thing's broke in, bro, I can't wait to see what it sounds like, see what it feels like. Having the CTR cams installed and the higher compression and more displacement than the single cam, it's gonna just, I can't wait to hear it. It's gonna sound amazing. Alright, so I forgot to record it, might be, but I adjusted the throttle body set screw so it would idle at 900 where I have it set. It's warmed up. I checked ignition timing, it's set at 16. Everything is perfect. So only thing left to do now is to drive it and get the tune ironed out. It is idling way better now. It's not idling high, it's not idling low, it's not struggling to idle. I just got to clamp the fueling on the idle, and then we can go ahead and start driving it. I'm pretty excited, seeing as how this will be the first drive, but I'm gonna leave that to the next video, so peace.